Good morning, good morning. I know I am an hour late. I am sorry, I overslept. Hello and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, this music that you're hearing, and anything else potentially interesting that we gather throughout the show, anything that's just there, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today is Freya's Day, also known as Friday, July 1st, 2022. What a great day for July 1st to start. Friday. After work, go out, have a barbecue. July 1st. It's July. Anyway, moving on up into the history of this date. In the year 69, Roman General Vespasian was first proclaimed emperor by the troops in Egypt during the year of the Four Emperors. That was a hell of a year right there. And Vespasian, not a good guy. 1 year later, in the year 70, Roman General Titus and his forces set up battering rams to assault the walls of Jerusalem. 1690, well, that's a heck of a time jump, going from 70 to 1690, so 1,620 years later, army of the Protestant King William III defeated deposed Roman Catholic King James II in Battle of Boyne in Ireland. 1698, Congregation of Notre Dame of Montreal was founded by Margaret Bourgeois, canonically constituted a community. 1745, Warship Elizabeth Jones, Bonnie Prince Charlie's frigates. Joined. The Warship Elizabeth joined Bonnie Prince Charlie's frigates Doughty, and he was a pretender to the British throne. All right. In 1776, the first vote of the on the Declaration of Independence for Britain. Let me try this again. 1776, the first vote on the Declaration of Independence for Britain's North American colonies occurred. Yes. 1798, Napoleon's fleet reached Alexandria in Egypt. 1836, U.S. President Andrew Jackson announced to Congress bequest by James Smithson of 100,000 gold sovereigns to found the institution in Washington. Yeah, so just after the war, we put in taxes to try to pay for it. People weren't happy about that, but hey, at least we were independent. 1858, the joint reading of Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace's papers on evolution to the Linnean Society occurred. 1862, Alexander II of Russia granted Jews the right to publish books. 1867, the Dominion of Canada was formed, comprising of provinces of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Ontario, and Quebec, with John A. Macdonald serving as the first Prime Minister. Interesting. Nice. So, Lokes, Little Miss Doom, and my dad, this is good news for them. Their country was born. In 1873, Henry Ossian Flipper of Georgia entered West Point Military Academy. I wonder if he was good at making pancakes, or burgers, whatever, flip, I don't know. I'm playing off his name, people, come on. 1889, Frederick Douglass was named U.S. Minister to Haiti. 1896, Wilfrid Laurier was sworn in as the first French-speaking Prime Minister in Canada. Interesting. Another Canadian thing here. 2 years later, in 1898, Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders charged up San Juan Hill. Yes, we need more leaders like this guy, We need people who are actually, manly to lead. None of this Brandon cut crap. 1904, the third summer modern Olympic Games opened in St. Louis. This was the first held in the United States. Cool. 1905, Albert Einstein introduced his theory of special relativity. 1914, General J.B.M. Herzog founded the Free State National Party. What is the Free State National Party? Let's look that up here real quick. Free State National Party. Okay, well, while Google is lagging. Moving on up into 1916, Pittsburgh shortstop Honus Wagner, at the age of 42 and 4 months, connected at Cincinnati to become the oldest to hit an inside-the-park home run. During that game, the Pirates beat the Reds 2-1. Free State National Party. No, not South Africa. Why is it talking about South Africa? JBM Herzog. JBM Hertz. Here we go. Oh, well, I guess it was South Africa. Okay. Okay, yeah, Prime Minister of South Africa. If only I could read, you know. If only I, you know, right there. Anyway. Also in 1916, the first day of the Battle of the Somme commenced. The British Army suffered its worst day, losing 19,240 men in one day during the First World War. 19,240 men in one day. Mowed down. Just to gain literally inches, if that, of ground. Trench warfare was horrifying. In 1920, Washington Senators pitching legend Walter Johnson no-hits Boston Red Sox 1-0 at Fenway Park, the only no-hitter of his illustrious career. 1921, Wimbledon women's tennis. Suzanne Lenglen of France defeated doubles specialist Elizabeth Ryan 6-2 and 6-0 for her third straight Wimbledon singles title. In 1931, just one decade after the previous article, U.S. President Herbert Hoover placed a one-year moratorium on war debt payments. What's a moratorium? Let me look that up here real quick. What is a moratorium? A moratorium is a delay or suspension of an activity or a law. In a legal context, it may refer to the temporary suspension of a law to allow legal change to be carried out. Interesting. So basically, this he put a halt on war debt payments for an entire year. Well, that ain't cool, but hey, you know, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Like, what are you gonna do? Oh, looks like I did not update the information of the stream. So I'm going to do that live right now. Give me 1 minute. Pictures. This one here. Okay. Save. Get rid of that. So get rid of that. There we go. Alright. Who else was born on this date? Not born. What else happened today? In 1932, during the Wimbledon's women's tennis, Helen Wills Moody defeated fellow U.S. Helen Jacobs 6-3 and 6-1 for her fifth of 8 titles. Also in 1932, New York Governor Franklin D. Roosevelt was nominated for president at the Democratic Convention in Chicago. Well, no wonder why FDR was such a apparently lousy president. And wasn't he also crippled? I don't know. 1937, Spanish bishops supported Francisco Franco and his fascist movement. Yep. Spain turned fascist for a while. That seemed to be the flavor of the month, you know, in all of Europe at that time. Benito Mussolini, Francisco Franco, Hitler, Lenin, Stalin, the Queen of England, you know, whatever. 1941, New York outfielder Joe DiMaggio, on his way to record 56, tied Willie Keebler's 44-game MLB hit streak in a 9-2 win over Boston Red Sox at the Yankee Stadium. 3 years later, in 1944, Bretton Woods Conference starts, dominated by Harry Dexter Wright and John Maynard Keynes, and led to establishment of the IMF and the World Bank. There's not much history you get in the mid-40s that is not World War II. There's one thing. 1944, General Eisenhower visits the front of Normandy, or the front in Normandy. Why is his picture not there? It's just straight up, okay, what happened? Okay, there we go. 1945, the first Major League Baseball superstar to return from the Second World War, Hank Greenberg, homers in his first game. Detroit defeated Philadelphia A's 9-5. 1 year later, in 1946, the last white Rajah, Charles Vainer Brooke, ceded Sarawak to the British Crown. Oh, Raja. Raja? I don't know. I can't pronounce these words. 1948, Australian cricket captain Don Bradman scored 128 in 141 minutes with 15 fours in a tour match versus Surrey. Also in 1948, Brooklyn's future Baseball Hall of Fame catcher Roy Campanella debuted with 3 hits in a 6-4 loss to the rival New York Giants. 1950, Maxwell Anderson and Kurt Wills Lost in the Stars, based on Alan Paulton's novel Cry the Beloved Country, closed at Music Box Theater, New York City after 281 performances. It's pretty good. 1951, Cleveland Indians veteran hurler Bob Feller pitches his 3rd career no-hitter, defeating Detroit Tigers 2-1. Moving on up into 1955, during the Wimbledon's men's tennis, U.S. Tony Trabert defeated Kurt Nielsen of Denmark 6-3, 7-5, and 6-1 for his only Wimbledon success. 365 days later, in 1956, at the LPGA Western Open Women's Golf at the Wakanda Country Club, Beverly Hansen won by 4 strokes from Louise Suggs, 2nd of her 3rd major titles. 1956 as well, Elvis Presley, wearing a tuxedo, appeared on The Steve Allen Show. Alright. 1960, Benjamin Britten's cantate Carmen Basileus premiered in Basel. 1960 as well, Fidel Castro nationalized Esso, Shell, and Texaco in Cuba. Yep. Because even if you're fighting against the capitalist pigs, you'll still take their money, you know. 1960 as well, Wimbledon's men's tennis. In an all-Australian final, Neil Fraser won his first and only Wimbledon singles title, defeating Rod Laver 6-4, 3-6, 9-7, and 7-5. 1 year later, 1961, the U.S. Open Women's Golf at the Baltusrol Golf Club. Mickey Wright won her 3rd Open by 6 strokes, despite a second round 8 over par 80. What am I doing with my hands? I am not a pianist. 1963, the U.S. President JFK, John F. Kennedy, arrived in Rome. 1967, the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band went on #1 in the United States, where it would stay there for 15 weeks. Dang, I've never heard of that. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. 1968, John Lennon's first full art exposition, You Are Here, opened at Robert Fraser Gallery in London. 1969, investiture of Prince Charles as the Prince of Wales was watched by large crowds in Caernarfon, Wales, and by millions on television worldwide. 1972, Stephen Sondheim's Follies closed at Winter Garden Theater, New York City, after 524 performances. That's pretty good. 1972 as well, the feminazi magazine Myths, founded by Gloria Steinem, published its first regular issue with Wonder Woman on the cover. 1973, Tom Bradley became the 38th mayor of Los Angeles, the first and only black U.S. citizen to hold that position. Wow. You'd think for a blue state we would have had another black guy in there by now, but guess not. I guess the blues really, aren't that, supportive of the people that they say they are. What a surprise. What a bunch of hypocrites. 1974, General Augusto Pinochet became president and dictator of Chile. Well, that's not good. 1977, during the Wimbledon women's tennis, hometown favorite Virginia Wade defeated Betty Stove of the Netherlands 4-6, 6-3, and 6-1. 1978, former U.S. President Richard Nixon made his first public speech since resigning in 1974. Well, that guy was a piece of shit. 1980, British runner Steve Ovett broke countryman Sebastian Coe's world record for the mile in 3 minutes 48.8 seconds in Oslo, Norway. 1981, Prince William Alexander opened Willems Bridge in Rotterdam. Willems Bridge. Let's take a look at that. Did I even add moratorium into the underbar? No, I did not. Moratorium. Okay. Save that. Williams Bridge. Images. Oh, okay, that's a cool looking bridge. It's a bridgey looking bridge. Alright. Moving on up into 1982, Cal Ripken Jr. made the first of his record 2,216 consecutive MLB starts at shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles. Hey, that's a lot of consecutive MLB starts right there. 2 years later, in 1984, U.S. Senior Open Men's Golf at the Oak Hill Country Club, Miller Barber won by 2 strokes from Arnold Palmer for his second Senior Open title. Poor Arnold Palmer. You know, the more I read about it, you know, how great of a golfer he was, it's starting to seem like he was better off as a beverage designer. 1990 Canadian Open Women's Golf Du Maurier Classic at the Westmount Golf Club. Kathy Johnston won by 2 strokes from Patty Sheehan for her only LPGA Tour win. 1991 Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Ooh, a good one. Directed by James Cameron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Leda Hamilton, and Edward Furlong, premiered at Century City in California. And yes, I'm very aware of who Arnold Schwarzenegger truly is. I'm very aware of who his dad was and who he worked for. So, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, did it? 1996, Placido Domingo became artistic director for the Washington Opera. Alright. 1997, Nevada Athletic Commission suspended Mike Tyson indefinitely and withheld $20 million purse for biting Evander Holyfield's ear during their heavyweight title fight on the 28th of June. So, I didn't remember reporting on that. 28th of June, that was only a couple days ago. So, well, it happened. I was there, actually. I was in a family member's house, and we were watching it, and I was rooting for Mike Tyson, but, yeah. See, look what happens to everything I like. It goes horrible. 2009, animated film Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs, directed by Carlos Saldanha and Mike Thrombosis, with voices by Ray Romano and John Leguizamo, was released. Let me try this guy's name again. Mike Thermieris. 2014, Jennifer Love Hewitt joined the CBS series Criminal Minds. How ironic. 2018, NBA superstar loser LeBron James agreed to a 4-year, $154 million deal with the LA Lakers, moving from the Cleveland Cavaliers and going on to be a Chinese bootlicker. 2020, just 2 years ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin won a national referendum allowing longer presidential terms of office. Oh, what a surprise. 2021, just last year, Xi Jinping made a defiant address at celebrations in Tiananmen Square, Beijing, to mark the 100-year centenary of the Chinese Communist Party. 2021, Indonesian President Joko Widodo announced a 2-week lockdown for the islands of Java and Bali amid the worst COVID-19 outbreak in Southeast Asia. And also 2021, Britain's Princes William and Harry unveiled a statue to their mother, Princess Diana, on what would have become her 60th birthday at Kensington Palace. Yep. Before we move into births and deaths, were there any articles that caught your attention? Let's open a dialogue. Say something in the comment section. Anything you want to add? Anything you want me to to extrapolate upon further? I know that's not the correct word, but whatever. Just join the show. Join the show in one way or another. Anyway, moving on up into births, starting us off in the year 1481, we have Christian II. He was a king of Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. He was born in Nyport Castle in Denmark, dying in the year 1559. 1646, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz was a German mathematician and philosopher, differential and integral calculus, born in Leipzig, Holy Roman Empire, dying in 1716. So he invented differential and integral calculus? I think so. Let me look this up. Who invented differential and integral calculus? Come on, Google, stop being lewd. Okay, well, wow, you're laggy. Well, okay, Godfrey Williams. Okay, so he did. So he did invent that. All right. 1725, Jean-Baptiste Donatin de Villemot, Comte de Rochambeau. Oh, Rochambeau. Huh. French military leader, commander of the French Expeditionary Force that assassinated the 13 colonies, or that assisted the 13 colonies. Assassinate. He was born in Vendôme, France, and dying in 1807. Ah, Rochambeau. Well, we really kicked the Brits in the nuts with that guy, didn't we? 1899, Charles Laughlin was an English actor, Mutiny on the Bounty, and Spartacus. He was born in Scarborough, England, dying in 1962. 1902, William Wyler was born on this date. He was a U.S. film director, Ben-Hur and Mrs. Miniver. He was born in Mühlhausen, Alsace-Lorraine, German Empire, dying in 1981. 1903, Amy Johnson was a British pilot, the first female pilot to fly alone from Britain to Australia, born in Kingston, Upton Hull, England, dying in 1941. 1906, Estee Lauder, or Josephine Escher Menzer, was a U.S. entrepreneur, Estee Lauder Cosmetics, born in Corona, Queens, New York City, dying in 2004. For whatever reason, I was trying to read that as Croatia, but no. Oliva de Havilland was born on this date in 1916. She was a British U.S. Academy Award-winning actress. All the King's Men, The Adventures of Robin Hood, Gone with the Wind, The Heiress. Whoa, that is a lineup right there. Born in Tokyo, Japan, dying in 2020. Just 2 years ago, wow. Huh. Sidney Pollack was born on this date in 1934. Was a U.S. director, actor, and producer, Tutsi and Out of Africa, born in Lafayette, Indiana, dying in the year of 2008. Dan Aykroyd. I gotta try his Crystal Skull vodka. He was born on this date in 1952. He is a Canadian-U.S. comedian, writer, and actor. Saturday Night Live, The Blues Brothers, and Ghostbusters, born in Ottawa, Ontario. Wow, this is the first time, to my knowledge, this is the first time any actor, like, I've seen or I understand that entire lineup. I've not seen Saturday Night Live, but I know what it is. I think I've seen all of the Blues Brothers in one go. I actually am not sure, and I'm not sure about Ghostbusters either. But you get what I'm saying. Li Keqiang, born on this date in 1955, he is a Chinese premier of the State Council and China's head of government, born in Dingyuan County, Anhui Province. Diana Spencer, born on this date, English, in 1961, English Princess of Wales, born in Sandringham, England, dying in the year of 1997. 1961, Carl Lewis was a U.S. sprinter and long jumper, had 9 Olympic gold medals from 1984, 88, 92, and 96. He was born in Birmingham, Alabama. Dang. I had no idea such great things could come out of such horrible places. Alabama. 1967, Pamela Anderson. Hey, that's a name I recognize. Canadian-U.S. actress of Baywatch and Playboy Playmate, February 1990. Was born in Ladysmith, British Columbia. Yep. Even sluts and whores get born, 1971, Missy Elliott, also known as Melissa Elliott, aka Missy, was a is a U.S. actor, U.S. rapper, Work It and Lose Control, born in Portsmouth, Virginia. 1977, Liv Tyler is a U.S. actress and daughter of Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler. Stealing Beauty and Lord of the Rings, she was born in New York City, New York. Man, that was quite a lot of births today. Moving on into deaths, we have Charles Watson Wentworth, died on this date in 1782. He was the second Marquis of Rockingham, British Prime Minister, the Whig Party from 1765 through 66 and 1782. He died during an influenza epidemic at the age of 52. Dang. Hey, Charles Goodyear died on this date in 1860. He was an American chemist and a manufacturing engineer who invented the vulcanization process for rubber. Died at the age of 59. And rubber is in practically everything, like eraser, right here, a phone cover right here. What else do I have right here? Is rubber keychain things, you know. 1896, Harriet Beecher Stowe was a American author. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Died at the age of 85. I don't even want to look that up. That sounds like a horrible title. I mean, don't judge a book by its cover, but this phrase right here is not a good one. So, I don't want to associate myself with it. 1912, Harriet Quimby was an American pioneering aviator, the first woman in the U.S. to receive a pilot's certificate and to cross the English Channel. Ironically, dying in a plane crash at the age of 37 after her biplane unexpectedly pitched forward and threw her and her passenger to their deaths. Wow. Not good. Especially for certain stereotypes. 1931, Alice May Robertson died on this date. She was a U.S. educator, social worker, and the second woman in the U.S. Congress. Died at the age of 77. Juan Perón died on this date in 1974. He was an Argentine military officer and the president of Argentina from 1946 through 55, and from 73 to 74. He died of a heart attack at the age of 78. Well, that sucks. And were there any more deaths? Yeah, here we go. Marlon Brando. That name's kind of familiar. 2004, he was a U.S. actor, The Godfather, A Streetcar Named Desire, and On the Waterfront. Died at the age of 80. Well, okay. Marlon Brando, from The Godfather. That's probably where I recognize that name. And that's the end of the deaths, and that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links that you may find interesting. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander, and you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.